Second episode of the ninth season of Rick and Morty focuses on Rick's experience with an alter ego named Ted in another world under a different identity. In this case, Rick is not in his element. Experiences a group event in which things get worse when a theft disrupts the whole thing. He can hardly control himself now because his illness began in such a volatile manner. Rick gives Ted a pre-made message to reveal his true identity to Ted, allowing him to decide whether to ignore his consciousness or embrace the life he has made for himself. For starters, Ted is stubborn and refuses to be controlled as he chooses to lead a life independently. However, at some point, Ted yields and accepts going back home after a couple of events with his friends, including one failed attempt of his return. In conclusion, Ted decides to push the red button. His emotional state in relation to being there is not considered. Rick and Morty Season 9, Episode 3 follows Rick and Morty as they move into a new situation that begins with a routine stop at Trader Joe's and develops into an escalating conflict. Season 9 continues its weekly rollout after Episode 2. The episode is scheduled to air on Sunday, June 7, 2026, at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time / 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Adult Swim in the United States. It will be available for viewing online through Hulu and HBO Max within 24 hours of its broadcast date, which is June 8, 2026. The third episode of the ninth season of Rick and Morty features narrative elements that have been carried through from major events to expect from Rick and Morty Season 9, Episode 3. Rick and Morty travel to a Trader Joe's location, where an ordinary shopping trip becomes a trigger for a larger interdimensional conflict. The situation escalates when external forces interrupt what begins as a simple errand. Rick continues to process fragmented memories connected to the Ted experiment, which affects his behavior and decision-making. These lingering effects influence how he responds to new threats in Episode 3. A confrontation develops in a public setting involving a martial arts figure, leading to a physical conflict that interrupts Morty's attempt to manage Rick's escalation.